I commend you for defeating 4 members of the Knights of the Round Table, your journey is not over yet. To complete this quest, you must seek help from one whose brilliance is comparable to the sun. But in order to convince the Pharaoh to aid you, you're going to have to prove your worth. While Ozymandias isn't blessed by a gift from the Lion King, he's also not a pushover. Before you even get to this fight we're going to cover, I should mention that you're going to have to face off against a demon pillar, not once, but twice. Not only that, but when you do eventually fight the King of Kings, he's not alone. His quirk of sorts would be that he brings caster enemies with him to each fight. This fight consists of 3 waves. The first wave, you'll be facing off against Ozy and a Sphinx. The second, he'll have a Malika Sphinx coming to his aid. And for the final wave, Nitocris is accompanying him. Not only does this fight mix up Rider and Caster class enemies, but in each wave, Ozy has a skill known as Divine Privilege that has a chance of increasing his defense, as well as healing himself. If he manages to cast this on himself multiple times, he becomes a real pain to deal with, so taking him down fast is key. Nitocris is also a problem if she's able to use her Noble Phantasm, since you'll have to worry about that instantly killing your entire party when she activates it. On a side note, she has a skill that charges her Noble Phantasm gauge as well, which, as you guessed, means you'll need to take her down quick. One final thing to mention at the start of the third fight, Ozy's Noble Phantasm gauge will be fully charged, allowing him to use his Noble Phantasm during his first attack. Sounds tough, doesn't it? Well, it wouldn't be a test to show your strength if His Majesty went easy on you. Do not despair, dear masters. Here are some things to help you earn his respect and bring him to your side. The combat suit is perfect for this fight. Switching party members out here is very important, and stunning Ozy at the beginning of the final fight to prevent him from using his Noble Phantasm will buy you some valuable time. Keeping Ozy stunned or charmed will also prevent him from using the dreaded Imperial Privilege skill. So you're going to want to bring a few servants with those abilities. You'll want a variety of servants going into this fight, considering you'll be fighting multiple classes during each wave. Here are a few suggestions. An offensive assassin is key to use against Ozy. Hassan of Serenity or Ryogi Shiki come to mind. Both have a single target Noble Phantasm, and Hassan of Serenity in particular has a skill that reduces an enemy's critical attack chance for 3 turns and reduces an enemy's Noble Phantasm gauge by 1. Shuten Doji is also a good choice, not only because of her ability to charm all enemies, but her Noble Phantasm places a massive amount of debuffs to all enemies on the field, including Skill Seal, which will prevent Ozy from spamming Divine Privilege. Uriel also continues to be the MVP of the Singularity due to the fact that, as with Gawain, her Noble Phantasm will dish out extra damage to Ozy due to the special attack buff against males. She can also drain an enemy's Noble Phantasm gauge and add it to her own, further preventing Ozy from using his Noble Phantasm. You'll also want to consider bringing a good rider with you to take care of the Sphinx enemies in Nitocris. Getting rid of them will make the fight a lot easier. Rider Kintoki, Ushi Wakamaru, and the Pharaoh himself are all very great choices. All 3 have single target Noble Phantasms, and they are all able to buff their attack as well, making their Noble Phantasm even more hard-hitting. Ushi in particular has an evade skill if you complete her strengthening quest that can protect you from the enemy onslaught for 1 turn. And finally, for support, Waver, Tamamo, Hans Christian Andersen, and Mashu are the ones to go to. Mashu and Waver can provide very important defense and damage cut buffs, while Hans and Tamamo can provide the necessary healing that your party needs to survive. Mashu is especially essential for the third wave. If you are unable to stun or charm Ozy at the beginning, you can use her taunt skill combined with her ability to make herself invulnerable to take the hit of Ozy's devastating Noble Phantasm. As for craft essences, you're going to definitely want to go into the fight with Origin Bullet. The extra damage to casters will be imperative against the Sphinx enemies in Nitocris. Other suggestions, as per the trend, are going to be Golden Sumo from the Onigashima event, and Volumen Hydra Gyrum. I personally would also recommend Burning Love's Story due to the buff it gives against males, especially if you're bringing Uriel into the fight. And that about wraps things up for this installment. If you win here, the Pharaoh will acknowledge your strength. For that alone, you cannot falter. Oh boy, I really could go for a nap after that. I'm so tired.
Final round. Fight!
死に増え、都市を作る。 海を渡り空を裂いた。何のため。清掃よ、果てを語れ。ロンゴミリアド。
Shit!
Thank you for watching the video, Senpai. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to be notified. Want to support us even more? Feel free to go to our Patreon and check us.
Special thanks to the lovely names on the screen, and especially special thanks to our patrons DevenLuca, Lucky Number 5, YasashiiFuyu, the voice of St. Quartz, AD876, Zamian347, Outlaw, Black Knight 21, Reeniko, Ravenleaf182, Merlanda, and NelCelestine.
You masters are truly awesome. Now good luck and fight hard, Senpai.